Hello, I'm EnterElysium and welcome back to Let's Play Hearts of Iron 4 as France. Fascist France. We're not fascist yet, but we're going to try and get there. So, today, we're going to be starting to accelerate time, trying to build up a little bit of an air force in particular, if we can research that, managing to get our industry underway. I think it has to be mainly a focus on industry right now, just so that we can properly get that all started. There's a lot queued up, and we're going to try and focus on getting that all sorted. Now, the borders I have to worry about, not too worried about Germany. They're probably not going to kick off early. So I'm probably focusing on just in case Italy. Don't know which way they're going to go. Switzerland, yeah, I'd like to take Switzerland off the Swiss. Maybe Belgium. Certainly I'm a bit interested in which way Spain will go. The Spanish Civil War could kick off at any time. And I would like to support the fascist part so that I can get my name properly in the books of the good fascists. Like, you know, get myself noticed by Senpai and all that. But for now, I'm kind of left with a load of divisions sitting around, and I should probably move them. I'm certainly going to do the inevitable task of unfortunately having to move my navy, because I don't want to leave them out there. I want to get them over to Toulon. So if you go Provence, I'd be much appreciative. Right. Where's the rest of my navy? I realize putting them in one place risks them getting attacked by like an airstrike or something. But sadly, this is going to allow for better organisation as soon as I want to split them up and start a proper bit of fighting. Ooh, hello. Wow, I've got quite the fleet here. I guess it's my Mediterranean fleet. Flotilla de Haute Mers. I'm guessing that translates as Mediterranean fleet. I kind of feel that I'm going to be some sort of, like, destroying French heritage, but I'm going to have to rename the fleet so they can remember what they are. Do I have a fleet over Madagascar? No. Do I have a fleet here? No. Yes. I've got 3 light cruisers. What about over here? Heavy cruiser and a light cruiser. Anyone else? Does not appear to be the case. Okay, that looks like it's everyone. Alright, if you wouldn't mind, you need to travel half across the globe, just because I feel it's probably better to have you in one place for the moment so I can properly analyze how strong my navy is. Yeah, you're happy about that. Okay, let's also grab all of my troops. And we're going to put you in Paris so that we can properly distribute you. Now, of course, it's not all the troops. There are, you know, a load outside of mainland France. But for now, these can just wait where they are. I feel they're probably fine. You notice that they are guarding ports, and that's very important, because ports, that's very important. Yeah, I hate myself a little bit. But yeah, that's incredibly important because it allows you to move troops in and out freely. If you don't guard a port and an enemy manages to take it, they can still move troops into your land. That is bad. Okay. You're moving away from the front with Italy. That's fine. Italy aren't going to attack immediately. Famous last words and all that. Alright. So this game, unlike something like EU4 or Stellaris, basically the movement kind of like tick is hours, because it takes place over a much shorter time frame. Oh, it's nighttime. Look at all the little lights. Yeah. Okay, we can probably go up a little bit faster. It's gonna be a slow burn on this one. You're getting ready. You're protecting the port over there. So while this is happening, let's talk about these. This is the experience. You have Army, Navy, and Air Force. You can't really change or renovate or reform any one of your armed forces without experience. For instance, Italy is currently fighting a war in Ethiopia. Part of the reason behind that, part of it's there are many, many reasons. In fact, that's a very typical GCSE question in terms of run-up to the Second World War. But part of the reason behind that is because Italy wants to have experience with fighting wars, getting to use modern equipment and modernized infantry, etc., blah, blah, blah. So, you know, Italy is declaring a war, which will get Italy army experience and some of the others. And then it can use that to renovate and reform its divisions. For instance, right now, I could go edit and I could be like, look, I can't do much because it costs me experience to do it. Right, let's slow down. Let's look what we've got. We've got 53 divisions. Unfortunately, our quick response forces, half of them, well, 3/4 of them are actually motorized. 2/3 of them are motorized. The 1/3 remaining is cavalry. We've got some Alpine infantry. Okay, so places with mountains. Pyrenees. Yep. I'm terrible with geography. Is it Pyrenees? Anyway, border with Spain. Certainly the Alps for Switzerland would be a great place to put them if we decide to go against Switzerland. Alsace-Lorraine area. France really does have a lot of mountains nearby. It might be worth building a few more mountaineer units. Yeah. Let's do that. Right. So let us go down to half. We want this to be 24 units. The reason why I'll be explaining in a second. I'm going to get rid of some basic troop units, I feel. Just to bring this down to 24. 1, 2, 3. I'll keep you because you're level 3 regular infantry. You're only trained. So, and I'm going to put you here into an army. So this is an army group. So I'm going to put a commander in charge. I'm going to put armor, reconnaissance, max entrenchment. You're a field marshal. You're a field marshal. So field marshals can have any number of troops, but they tend to be lesser quality than generals. Generals can have only up to 24 divisions. So we're going to pick a general. And I'm going to pick you. Sure, reconnaissance. Jean de Latry de Tassigny. Too many D's in that, sorry. Frontline, and we're going to put a frontline with Germany for the moment, just in case they feel us weak. And now they're going to go and whoop. So yeah, there's this cool little, designate frontline tool. I could just delete that. Cancel your orders. And then frontline, I can actually just click that, because it's like one nation border. Boop. So they'll have over there and then join that. And I could designate an offensive, and they'll prepare for an offensive. I don't really want to designate an offensive right now, but I could say, you know, there'll be an offensive like capture this bit here, which is a pretty good offensive because it gives us borders with like rivers, so they have to river crossing to attack us. And they'll start preparing for that attack. Right, are you all moving out? Yeah. Now, you on the other hand, I probably want to put a bulk of forces against Spain, just in case I get the chance to intervene. It's unlikely to happen. So let's get rid of 1, 2... Charles de Gaulle? That name is surprisingly familiar. I wonder why. And then your offensive, if you choose to do one, should be to grab ideally these 2 ports, and then this area behind this river. Give us a natural defensive area. Now I want the ports because it allows me to land extra troops. This 5... Not even going to bother giving you a general. I should probably give you a general. Alphonse. Now, since there are only 5 troops there, they can't really adequately cover that frontier. There are way too many provinces. But they're going to try their best, bless them. Notice I haven't got any coverage on Luxembourg, on Belgium, on Switzerland. When we go fascist, those are going to be the ones that we're going to start thinking about picking on. But for now, I'm just setting up my borders how I would if I was actually perceiving Germany as a threat, just in case Germany starts to think us weak or whatever. Alright, let's go back to this fast forwards. Now, factories, national unity, political power, manpower. So, let's talk about these. Now, limited conscription means that only 2.5% of our population is recruitable. In fact, we've got a negative 0.3% to that. So it's a little bit lower, which is unfortunate because we kind of want more people. We've also got export focus, which gives resources to markets plus 50%. However, it gives our factory output a plus 10%, construction speed plus 10%, research time minus 5%. Export focus is good. It's a good default. However, there are a couple of other choices, especially if you want to keep your resources. You can go for, limited exports, closed economy, or if you want to get rid of your exports, because you've got loads of surplus, but you also need to maybe import a load of stuff, you can go free trade. Free trade makes like 80% of your resources go to the market. It could be a problem if you need a lot of resources in, but it does also give you a nice research bonus. Look at that, minus 10%. It's really good. Civilian economy, this is something we want to change as soon as possible. Look at that, minus 30%, minus 30%, conversion cost plus 30%, 30%. I mean, and it's also 30% of our factories are going to civilian economy. That's just not acceptable. We want, early mobilization, partial mobilization, war economy. Total. We want to go one of these nice and early because we need the buff. Like, quite frankly, we need the buff. Conscription. This one scales. As opposed to, say, the civilian economy, this is just 150 for each of these, but it's restricted based on the enemies. Strength. This one is similarly restricted based on enemy strength, but it's also, 150 to get the next one. 100 it goes up and goes up and goes up. So we want to try and go to extensive conscription. So we go up to 5%. That's the next step from 2.5. That should allow us to get a lot more people. Now, people isn't necessarily a problem right now for us. We actually have enough, but we are getting low. I think the first thing will be to try and sort our civilian economy to early mobilization. And we should be getting our next... Yep, one day. There we go. Government reform. So we now have 120 political power added. Still not enough to really do anything. You need 150 to do anything worthwhile. But it means that we can do this. Revise Versailles. We get a 2 times research speed for land doctrine. But it also means we can get down to support to the right. And we can try and go fascist. So right, you see these guys over here are like, oh, we are planning all these things. Estimate plan value 50%. In theory, enemy 10%. Large river costing at minus 10. Division still pairing at minus 20. And you can also tell down the bottom the value that they think the plan is. We are stronger than the enemy. Whereas over here, they're like, oh, we're weaker. So yeah, you're actually really, really stretched out. Don't worry, I recognize that fact. Now, how are we doing over here? We really don't have enough equipment, so no one's actually training yet. How's the equipment doing? 0. Literally got no equipment. Wow. Come on. Get on it. Ooh, look at that amount of infantry equipment needed. Yeah. France starts off with so much of a need to improve its industry right now. Okay, let's go up to 4 times speed. Let's look at our aerodromes. We've got some fighters here, interwar fighters. Fighters, tactical bombers. You know what, let's just pull up this. Tactical bomber, tactical bomber, tactical bomber. Tactical bomber. Fighter. Naval bombers and fighters. Yeah. We've got no strategic bombers, no transport planes, and no heavy fighters. That's fine. Navy. Area, Southern France. Oh, all of them are actually in the same place. I didn't miss anyone. Excellent. I kind of assumed I'd miss somebody. I could click the army, but there's just so much there. Oh, wow. Okay, everything's kicking off right now. So, the Spanish Civil War. Nationalist Spain declared war on Spain. Hello, Nationalist Spain. Right, so they are currently in the midst of a civil war. We also managed to research electronic mechanical engineering, which will increase, decrease our research time, which is lovely. What will this mean for Spain? Okay. So I'm very tempted to go mechanical computing. I mean, I know that the research time is 233 days, which is going to lock up one of our researching slots for a very long time, but it also does give us a -3 research, which is going to be pretty good. We could go efficiency cap plus 5%. Now, I haven't really talked about this before, but you get more efficient at producing something the more you produce it. So if we have a look at production, you can see that we've got this here, this bar. Now, because you start off with this production, it's kind of already maxed out. We've already hit our production cap. So we're already at 50% production. Now, we can actually increase this by increasing the production cap. So what this means is if I add something, I'm not going to do it right now because it would mean changing my factories around. But if I added something and then started producing it, actually I probably can. Let's see, let's try producing towed anti-air. There we go, you see here, production efficiency 0%, and it gains 1.7 per week. It becomes more efficient. So you can't really chop and change production lines all the time because you lose that efficiency bonus. So you have to weigh the choice of fiddling with the loadouts for your different squads of infantry, for divisions, etc. Because if you start changing their equipment all the time, you're going to be not producing very much of it because you're going to constantly be at the lowest efficiency rating. You need to get that maximum. You need to try and keep it there. So I'll just cancel that one for now. I'm not actually using it. So by doing this, we get plus 5% efficiency, which is going to be, pretty beneficial. Currently at 50%, plus 5%, that makes it like a plus 10% increase. That's going to be great. I really would like that. At the same time, there's a lot of stuff we need to research, especially if we're going to join the Axis, we need to have better subs. But that's a long way off. We're actually quite good on subs right at the moment. The Minerve class is fairly decent. We could get Joffrey class carrier, but I honestly don't think we can really face down the Royal Navy in terms of firepower. I think it was Admiral Scheer of the German... What was it? World War I. Would it be German Empire? I can't remember. Anyway. It said, basically, you can't beat the Royal Navy flat out. You've got to use subs. And you've got to take them down economically. I know, he's right. So, I think we're going to ignore this for the moment. Land Doctrine, going to ignore that for the moment. Artillery. Could go improved artillery, but there are more important things. Support battalions. Again, I can't really mess with my troops right about now because I don't have any experience, so really messing with like this isn't really beneficial. Apart from existing ones. Since we already have recon attached to one of our squads already, or two of them, we can improve it, but that's going to be a few years down the line. Infantry. Support Weapon 1. Gives loads of bonuses across the board. Very helpful. We will grab that, but right now I think it's all about the bonuses, and I think we're going to have to bite the bullet and say the research time is going to be very helpful. Now, some nations actually have more research slots. Like Great Britain starts with 4, can get 5. Germany, 4 or 5 as well. France has 3 and can unlock a 4th. France, kind of a little bit behind there, which is unfortunate. We're going to do our best to try and keep up. Ooh, so you see that world tension just went up. There's a little explosion if you caught that. It's now at 1%. German Reich has generated tension. Sent 2 volunteer divisions to Nationalist Spain. So yeah. Nationalist Spain now has 2 divisions from the German Reich fighting on its side. Now, I don't think we can really do anything. Yeah, we need world tension of 50%. That's one of our rules as an allied country, which we currently are, sadly. Do we have rules around? Ooh. Oh, we produce no oil. Oh, this is cool. I've never seen this before. This tells you what you produce. Right. But yeah, we have basically a list of things that we can and cannot do. And sadly, we are unable to really do much until world tension gets higher as an allied nation. As an Axis nation, we can start messing with stuff. And you wonder why I want to be an Axis nation. So we're going to let those fools play on. I'm kind of hoping, firstly, that Nationalist Spain wins, because then we'd have an ally, because, we're going to be nationalists, we're going to be, fascist. But also that if they lose, I can then try and take Spain for myself. In theory. So what's this? Ask for military access requested by Republican Spain. I'm going to accept. Just so that they have a slight advantage, because I want to be able to take Spain for myself. Mainly because if we look at their resources, there's a lot of tungsten sitting here. Mostly it's actually in Portugal. I'm sorry, Portugal, but you're either going to have to be our friend, or you're going to have to fight us, because we want that, tungsten. A lot. What else do we have? Oil. We need oil, so probably war over here. Workers threaten with strikes. Following the sacking of 2 workers at a large factory, struggles between workers and factory owners have erupted across the country. Workers backed by Parti Communiste, basically the French Communist Party, have organized and are demanding better conditions such as higher wages and shorter work weeks. Oh my god, those communists, how dare they? This will greatly reduce the output of our activities and viewed as a victory for the Communist Party. We're invited to negotiations. Do we give in to the demands or stand firm and risk a countrywide strike? So we never let them strike. For 90 days, we have factory output minus 90% and national unity minus 10%. Ow. That is painful. It's only 90 days, but it's painful. Negotiate a deal. In which case we get factory up minus 30% for a year and changing popularity of communism 7%. If I was going communist, I'd probably negotiate a deal to deliberately bolster communism. But since we're going fascist, I'm going to let them strike. We're going to have to just suck it up. 3 months of, like, basically having no factory output is really painful. But we're going to do it. Ow! Feels like kind of punching myself in the throat with that one. How's the war going? Now, Republican Spain tends to have the advantage here. Oh, you're communist. Hi. No one for democracy? Okay. Emergency to see how it plays out. Looks like the Republicans are... Ooh, hello. The Nationalists managed to punch back there. Now, bear in mind that anyone who gets cut off will start, like, starving of supplies. So being able to isolate small pockets of enemy is a great way to, like, deal with them. Communist in government. The communist movement in France, fueled by broad dissatisfaction amongst the working class and radical trends among index, has grown large enough to lead to the formation of several parties. After one of these has gained considerable support in the current election, politicians have started debating whether or not to seek the support in forming the government. They consider our democratic institution to be a little more than a bourgeois tyranny. They seem eager to make the changes they want to see through cooperating with the government rather than overthrowing it. Changing popularity of communism plus 10%, or gain... I lose national unity. I'll take the communism and just hope that we can pull it back with our fascism. I don't really want to lose much more national unity with France. It's low enough already. It's very much a... I think it's Republicans winning here. Yeah, it looks like they're pushing ahead. All right. How are we doing? Still no equipment. They've got 1 towed artillery. No infantry equipment whatsoever. Might be because our infantry equipment is going to people on the front line. Yeah, it's being used for reinforcement. So current units don't have enough, are currently being shipped it. Yeah, unfortunate, but I guess they need the equipment. So we've completed a revise at Versailles. Next is where it all kicks off. Support the right. Mutually exclusive with support the left. France has always been a strong and proud nation, but the lack of government action has divided the people. We must unite France and assert our superiority and strength to avoid succumbing to decay. Gain national spirit. Support the right, which grants daily fascism support, plus 0.2. Yes, we're going to grab that. And very soon we'll be able to actually enact some changes. Goddamn strikes. Anyway, we're going to leave it there for today. I've been EnterElysium. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have, remember to like, not subscribe, please consider subscribing. Do let me know with the likes and the comments down below what you think so far of the game and of the series and our ideas for a fascist France and how well that's going to go. World tension is currently up to 3%. Soviet Union has generally the most world tension. At 1.6, sent 3 volunteers to Republican Spain. Yeah. Japan sent to nationalist. Okay, Italy hasn't got involved yet. But, until next time, stay shiny.